Something big is coming, and most people won't survive it. 2025 is about to hit like a storm. AI is replacing jobs, the economy is collapsing, and people are weaker than ever. The world is changing faster than at any point in history, and if you don't adapt, you'll be left behind. But there's a way to not just survive, but dominate. And it starts with mastering the one mindset that has outlasted empires, crises, and wars: Stoicism. In 2025, Stoicism is no longer optional. It's the only way to win. People are more anxious, more lost, more fragile than ever. But here's the brutal truth. The future doesn't care about your feelings. The world is not going to slow down for you. It will either break you or you will adapt. And the only way to adapt is to develop a mindset so unshakable that nothing, no failure, no rejection, no uncertainty can touch you. That mindset is Stoicism. And in 2025, Stoicism is no longer just an ancient philosophy, it is a survival skill. Most people live in reaction mode. They let external events control their emotions. The news triggers them, opinions offend them, setbacks crush them. They live like leaves in the wind, completely at the mercy of forces outside their control. But the Stoics understood something that 99% of people today still don't. You do not control the world, you only control your response to it. And that changes everything. Think about this. Two people lose their jobs. One falls into panic, spirals into self-pity, and does nothing but complain about how unfair life is. The other immediately asks, "What's next? How do I turn this into an opportunity? How do I grow from this?" Same event, two completely different reactions, two completely different lives. That is the power of mindset. That is the power of Stoicism. And in 2025, this mindset is no longer optional. The economy is unstable, technology is replacing traditional careers, and most people are drowning in a sea of distractions. The average person can't focus for more than 10 seconds. They're addicted to scrolling, to cheap dopamine, to instant gratification. But here's what the Stoics knew. Discipline is freedom. Control your impulses, control your attention, and you control your destiny. If you can't focus, you are a slave to whatever steals your attention. And in 2025, the ability to stay calm, disciplined, and focused is what will separate those who thrive from those who collapse under pressure. But let's go deeper. Let's talk about something that makes most people uncomfortable: pain. Most people in 2025 are terrified of pain. They run from discomfort. They avoid hard conversations. They numb themselves with entertainment, with distractions, with substances. But the Stoics understood something fundamental. Pain is not the enemy. Pain is the greatest teacher you will ever have, if you let it be. Every hardship, every failure, every struggle is an opportunity to build resilience. And in a world where most people break at the first sign of difficulty, resilience is a superpower. Imagine this. You wake up tomorrow and everything goes wrong. You lose your job, your partner leaves you, your bank account hits zero. Most people would collapse under that pressure, but not you, because you have trained yourself to see challenges as opportunities. You have conditioned your mind to embrace hardship, not run from it. You have built the ability to stand tall while others fall apart. That is Stoicism in action. And that is why in 2025, it is not just a philosophy, it is your shield, your weapon, your competitive edge in a world that rewards those who can endure. And here's another uncomfortable truth. Most people care way too much about what others think. They shape their entire lives around seeking approval, avoiding criticism, fitting in. But the Stoics taught one of the most liberating lessons of all time. Other people's opinions are none of your business. Think about that. If someone disrespects you, if someone criticizes you, if someone spreads lies about you, why should you let that control your emotions? Their words only have power if you give them power. And the moment you stop seeking validation, the moment you stop trying to control how others perceive you, is the moment you become untouchable. That is real freedom. But let's take it even further. Let's talk about the most powerful Stoic principle of all, memento mori. Remember that you are going to die. This is not meant to depress you. This is meant to wake you up. Because most people live as if they are immortal. They waste time, they procrastinate, they push their dreams to someday. But there is no someday. There is only now. If you knew you had 1 year left to live, how would you act? What would you stop tolerating? What fears would you finally face? What risks would you take? The Stoics meditated on death not to be morbid, but to live with urgency, to remind themselves that life is short, that every moment matters, that excuses are just illusions. This is just the beginning. Stoicism is not about knowing. It is about doing. Knowledge without action is worthless. So how do you actually apply Stoicism in your daily life? How do you train your mind to become resilient? How do you stop caring about the things that don't matter? How do you build a life where you are in control, not a victim of circumstances? Let's start with the daily practice of premeditatio malorum, the Stoic habit of visualizing the worst-case scenario. Instead of fearing problems, the Stoics prepared for them. They imagined losing their wealth, their health, their status, even their loved ones, not to be pessimistic, but to be ready. Because when you have already faced a loss in your mind, it no longer has power over you. This is how you become anti-fragile. This is how you walk through life unshaken, no matter what happens. And then there is the practice of negative visualization. Every morning, before the world pulls you into its chaos, take a moment to reflect. What if today was my last day? What if I lost everything I took for granted? Would I appreciate what I have more? Would I waste less time? Would I let small problems bother me? This practice alone will change your life. It will make you more grateful, more present, more powerful. Because when you stop taking life for granted, you start living fully. But Stoicism is not just about surviving the world. It is about thriving in it. It is about becoming the kind of person who can handle anything, who moves through life with clarity, strength, and purpose. Because in 2025, there are two types of people: those who crumble under pressure and those who rise above it. The Stoics trained for this moment their entire lives. The question is, are you ready? No more waiting. No more excuses. This is your moment to rise. The time to start is now. Most people will watch this video and do nothing. They'll go back to their distractions, their excuses, their comfort zones. But not you. You're here because you want to be unshakable, because you refuse to be another victim of the chaos coming in 2025. So here's your next step. Subscribe and join a movement of people who are training their minds for what's ahead. Hit like if this resonated with you and share it with someone who needs to hear this. The weak will crumble. The strong will rise. Which one will you be? The choice is yours.